Hi, this is Shadi, and today we're going to be having a philosophical discussion. It's going to be Miyamoto Musashi and Jigoro Kano. This is not to say which is better or something, but this is rather to show both where they are coming from, their differences, their common points, etc. This really reminded me of the very classical philosophical battle between Epicureanism and Stoicism. They are not either or. They are not mutually exclusive. It's not like, for example, if you're going towards Stoicism, you're actually leaving behind Epicureanism and vice versa. It's not like heading from nihilism towards existentialism, kind of like what Nietzsche did after straying away from the teachings of Schopenhauer, which, by the way, I really do not like this man. And also you have Stoicism that strayed away from cynicism. You can have a lot of aspects in your life that are Epicurists, while at the same time being a Stoic in other aspects. They're not, like I said, mutually exclusive. And the same thing for the, being the stuff that you can find in the Dokudo, which are the 21 core values of Musashi, and also the core values of Judo, like Jitai-kyoe and Seryoku Zenyu. So you can find a lot of teachings that you can apply in your life from Musashi, but at the same time, stuff that you can find from Kano's writings that you can apply to yourself. They have some differences, and of course, I will talk about them. You have your Dokudo, the path of walking alone, while Kano was someone that's going around really interchanging with people, wanting to put Japan on the map, going around being a member of the IOC, talking to politicians, etc. Very much, interacting, wanted to give to others and to, his community, while you have someone that's a little bit like Epicurus, where he wanted to seclude himself, just be happy, being content with very little, etc. So this is why this is a very important topic if you are someone that is interested in philosophy. So let's take a look at the Dokudo. Just a brief run through. You can pause, take a screenshot, read it on your own. But if you can see a pattern happening that leaving things behind, not only physical stuff or material stuff, but also emotional. When he says never be jealous, resentment, think lightly of yourself, but big of the world, or deeply of the world. Also, do not hold on to possessions you no longer need. So you can see here, this is someone that's trying to live a more of a minimalist approach in life. But here, this is going towards him being alone in life. The less you are carrying with you, the more it is easier to go and be alone. Like if you see his life, he was a Ronin, a masterless samurai, and then towards the end of his life, he was a little bit like a hermit, in a sense, kind of like Epicurus and the Epicurean communes. They did gather around together, but it's not like they founded a society or they intermingled with politics. This is something you would see more within Stoics. Epicurus was very clear about politicians and politics, that he did not want anything to do with it. He just wanted to be happy. He just wanted to be with his friends. But at the same time, you can find some seclusion when he founded the Epicurean commune, and this was the basis for what you now call monasteries. So here you can see the Dokudo as well. It teaches you a lot of humbleness, and at the same time a lot of Stoic values, like not be jealous or resentful, etc. Obviously, you can apply a lot of these 21 core values into your life, while at the same time trying to contribute to your, I would say, society or the people that are around you. So, what is the difference between the two? First, you have one that is going around how to be alone, the way of walking alone, and one who had Jitai-kyoe, which is basically welfare for self and others, meaning there is no self, there is no sense of aloneness. It's all about, the grand or bigger image. And you can see it in his deeds, the travels, the being a member of the IOC, what he wanted to do for Japan, both on the academic level and also, the sports, the martial arts, where he believed in three types of education: the moral, the intellectual, and of course the physical. This is not someone that talked about, just be yourself alone, be humble, etc. But rather, this is about the bigger picture. And this is the main difference between the two. The first one was centuries before Kano, and the second was in the 1800s and transitioning into the 1900s. The difference is simply what was going on with Japan. At the time of Musashi, you had the Edo period. Japan was secluded. Japan was all alone, and it really showed in the way of life of Musashi himself. He wasn't just like, going around for dominance or hierarchy. He was actually the first to break family hierarchy within schools of Kenjutsu and Jujutsu. So he really reflected that secluded mentality of Japan as a whole, but at the same time really reflecting the other spirits, like the spirit of Bushido, being humble, not being selfless, etc. While Kano, on the other hand, he was in a very interesting time of Japan. Japan was going through a transition, getting more open towards the West, and also it wanted to become a lot better on so many levels, and also they wanted to show themselves within their accomplishments. And Kano did all of that, going around country to country, showing what Japan is all about, getting sports to Japan, becoming a teacher and an academic in Japan. It really showed that they both reflected the mentality of their country within their time, and the generation of the two is really the difference between the two. Yes, they both have ethics, being humble, being selfless, but at the same time, one was more open towards the world and one was open towards himself. And this is, in my opinion, the core difference between the two. Again, you can apply a lot of the Dokudo within your life, and also apply Jita Kyoe as well, or mutual welfare for self and others. This is kind of like an Epicurean who is very much about being happy, content with very little, just like the Stoics, when they say if little is not enough for you, then nothing is enough for you. But at the same time, Stoics, they're very much warrior likes. They want to go, they want to improve things, they want to be, I would say, like this stoic warrior, this someone that's really opting for change and not so much about being happy and content like an Epicurean. So you can be a little bit of both. Like I said, they're not mutually exclusive, and the same for Musashi's values and Kano's values. I know this is a very deep discussion. You can have a lot to say, you can disagree obviously, and you can tell me where at which point you might disagree with me. Also, very little, or content with very little, or relying on very little, is also core value of Musashi. You can see it in his sword work. His school is still very much alive. He talks about the very basic, not so much big movements, and that would give you victory. And it really showed in his duels, throughout his life. So, if you have anything else to add, let me know. This is a very deep discussion, like I said, I know. But the core difference, I would say, it's their country, what was going on at that time they were alive. So let me know if you have anything else to add. This was Shadi, and thank you for listening.